BBC One and BBC One HD, doing all the hard work for you with Final Score.
Welcome to Final Score. We're enjoying a cracking afternoon's action. 5 Premier League matches taking place right now, and enjoying those and a whole lot more are two men who spent many years trying to stop each other doing his job. Martin Keown and Ferdinand, friends reunited on the sofa. Before we hear from them, let's get the latest on the Premier League matches in action right now. With about 20 minutes to go, it's Chelsea 1, Blackburn 0. Is Chelsea's bad moment finally about to end? They lead through an Ivanovic goal. Manchester City 4, Wolves 2. Carlos Tevez has scored twice, including one brilliant solo effort. A contender for goal of the season, perhaps, with the Toure brothers on the score sheet as Manchester City look set to go top. Stoke 2, Bolton 0. It's looking comfortable for the hosts thanks to Danny Higginbotham's scrambled goal and Matt Etherington penalty there. West Brom 2, Blackpool 1. The Baggies have come from behind to lead. James Morrison with their crucial second goal. And it's Wigan 1, Fulham 0. Roddy Yeager's lobbed goal means Wigan are poised to move out of the bottom 3 and above Fulham, who'd still be out of the bottom 3 themselves if things stay as they are. Let's head around the grounds now, and I think we have to go to the City of Manchester Stadium first and get the full SP from Damien Johnson.
It's Manchester City 4, Wolves 2. City awful in the first half, inspired in the second through goals. One of them breathtaking from captain Carlos Tevez. Wolves led through Nenad Miliash. Kolo Toure equalised. Tevez skipped past 3 players to score a brilliant goal just after the break. Yaya Toure finished at length of the field move, and Tevez headed a 4th. But Wolves pulled one back. Kevin Doyle from the spot. We've seen occasional flashes from £27 million man Edin Dzeko, who's making a City debut today. But I think there are more goals in this, Gabby.
Damien, I hope so for entertainment's sake, if nothing else. We'll come back to you later on. Of course, City will go top tonight with Manchester United playing tomorrow if they hold on to that lead. Let's go to Stamford Bridge. Roger Johnson watching to see if Chelsea, well, is this the turning point? They beat Ipswich 7-0 in the FA Cup. Is this the turning point for their season today?
Well, I tell you what, Gabby, if there are to be more goals here, the next one will be almightily interesting. At the moment, it's Chelsea 1, Blackburn 0. Branislav Ivanovic's second half goal poked home at an angle from close range after Terry had flicked on a corner, and Chelsea hoped to end their worst run for almost 15 years, just 1 win in 9 before today. They've been on top in truth and twice hit the woodwork in a lacklustre first half. Rovers, who introduced Roque Santa Cruz from the bench at half-time, had their best chances before the break. Martin Olsson with the pick of them to extend check into a smart save from 20 yards. Less than 20 minutes to play here then. It's Chelsea 1, Blackburn 0.
OK, let's have a little chat about Man City's performance this afternoon. All eyes were on Dzeko, and Tevez pops up and says, remember who the main man is round here.
Pretty well. That's what he's done with his performance. 3 fantastic goals. You know, he's gone on 1 goal. He's
2 for him.
2 for him. Yeah, sorry. He's gone on a run of beat 3 players, showed strength, awareness, quick feet. You know, he's magical at times in that team, and he's really the spirit of the side, and he's really just laying the lie down. Look, don't forget about me, big signing, but I'm the #1 striker.
What do you make of Dzeko?
And I think we all know that, but Dzeko, I've been impressed with what he's done so far. He's come into a side that is playing well, and he's shown some good touches and some good signs today. I just tried to get that goal, but he's been unfortunate. But I think he's going to be a good addition to the Man City side. Well,
the tea-time kick-off today is, of course, at Upton Park, where I suppose the first question is, never mind the manner in which it's been done, is Martin O'Neill for you a good appointment for West Ham?
Well, we know Martin O'Neill's a great manager. He's had some great times, and if you want someone to stem the flow of what's going on at your club, you know, he seems the best man available at this moment in time. So we know his record's good. Whether he can go in there and turn it round with what they've got, with what they've got in the board, he's probably wanted some guarantees that he's going to have some money to spend as well, because I do believe they need new players, and if he can get that, then you know,
it's a gamble, isn't it? It's a gamble for both of them. And Martin O'Neill's chosen very well all the jobs that he's done so far in his career. He's going to need money. It's a boardroom that are very much hands-on, and Martin likes control. So it'll be very interesting to see if that's going to be a perfect marriage.
OK, thanks for the moment, guys. We're going to check back in with our Premier League matches and go to the Britannia Stadium next. Stoke with a 2-0 lead over Bolton, and Andrew James. Bolton with a terrible run away from home at the moment.
Yes, that's right, Gabby. They've lost the last 4, make that 5 really. You can't see any way back. I've seen about 20 or so Bolton games for this programme over the last 5 years or so, and I can't remember one in which Kevin Davies has been so ineffective. Stoke, they got ahead just before half-time. Danny Higginbottom scrambling the ball over the line from a Tunchai corner, and then Etherington going down under the challenge of Zat Knight, taking the penalty himself to make it 2-0, and that's how it remains. Stoke 2, Bolton 0.
Let's go to Stamford Bridge and check in with Roger Johnson, a goal.
It's now Chelsea 2, Blackburn Rovers 0. Nicholas Anelka is claiming the goal. It came from a corner. Ivanovic got up for the header, headed it goalwards, and Anelka, standing a yard out, just turned the ball in past Paul Robinson. It was a situation entirely of Blackburn's own making. An erroneous back pass by Christopher Sambor allowed Drogba to scamper away. His shot was saved by Robinson's legs. That led to the corner, and Chelsea have made them pay. Anelka should have made the game safe now. Chelsea 2, Blackburn 0.
Anelka's 12th goal against Blackburn Rovers in all competitions, all the clubs that he's played for. He certainly loves scoring against them. You raised your eyebrows that he was starting today up front with Drogba, but Chelsea at the moment looking good for the 3 points and go back into the top 4.
Yeah, I think the pleasing thing for them will be that they're one of their strikers who've got on the score sheet. You know, for weeks now, neither of them have been able to score goals in the Premier League, and usually one striker has a lean spell and the other one's scoring, so it keeps the team ticking over, but both of them have had a lean spell at the same time, and so there was talk about dropping either one of them, but he's gone with both of them up front, and as you said, Anelka scored his 12th goal against them.
A goal at the DW Stadium. Let's get the latest. James Mason.
It's actually just been ruled out, Gabby. The score's Wigan 1, Fulham 0, but Clint Dempsey had run away to Mark Hughes, celebrating, thinking that he'd drawn the scores level, and a crowd of players are surrounding the linesman, or the assistant referee, should I call him, on the far side of the pitch. So I don't think the goal has been given, or has it? The two officials are now speaking, so I'll just bring you back up to date. In fact, the goal has or hasn't been given. Bear with me a second, Gabby, we'll soon find... It's not been given. It's a free kick for offside, so that brings us back up to date. It's Wigan 1, Fulham 0. Sorry about that. It's all contentious at the moment. It's Hugo Rodieega who opened the scoring for Wigan, his 6th league goal of the season, intelligently looping the ball over David Stockdale, the Fulham goalkeeper, on the hour mark. So I'll leave it there for now. I'll come back to you and let you know how the game's progressed. It's Wigan 1, Fulham 0.
Thank you very much, because we're going to go to the Hawthorns. Ivan Gaskell has definitely got a goal to tell us about.
Absolutely, and it's gone to Blackpool. It's levelled it here. West Brom 2, Blackpool 2. What a game. Every single time Blackpool take to the field, up and down the country in this Premier League season, you are guaranteed entertainment. They took the lead early on, a fabulous goal from David Vaughan. He curled one, chipped the keeper from 20 yards. Credit to West Brom, their response was immaculate. Adam Wingy, a really neat goal, well taken. Morrison, the other side of half-time, to take West Brom into the lead. But you know, Blackpool are unbeaten when they've taken the lead this season, and they've just squared it, rightly so. Phillips the sub with a good cross. For once West Brom were undone, and there was Gary Taylor-Fletcher to slide the ball home. This one's far from over as I speak. West Brom on the attack again. Here's Brunt, slips it on the outside, shot saved by Kingston. Not cleared yet. It's pinball in there. You can't take your eyes off it. Not long to go, but I think there's still plenty to happen here. 2-2.
Yeah, I think we might be back to visit you in a few minutes' time. Taylor-Fletcher, of course, scored against Liverpool as well in the week, and just Blackpool giving us so much joy in the Premier League.
Well, we talk about them as the roller coaster team. I mean, they really are. You know, they're great entertainers. Every game you see them play, it's end-to-end stuff. They're players. They have such confidence. And this game really could go either way at the moment. West Brom really going after Blackpool, but all credit to them, of course, for getting back into the game.
OK, well, the Championship leaders, QPR, can't find a way through at the moment at Turf Moor. Richard Askham.
Yes, hi, Gabby. Goalless here. QPR, who have just one win on the road in the last 7, have bossed large parts of this match. Lee Grant has had to come to Burnley's aid more than once with good saves. Adel Taarabt with his box of tricks. What a talent he is, by the way. He's almost opened the home defence up. But Burnley, with manager to be Eddie Howe watching in the stands, have got better as the game has gone on. Jay Rodriguez with a snapshot, their best efforts. And it's still very much in the balance, this game.
Swansea, who played in the lunchtime game against Crystal Palace, won 3-0 and went into second place. That'll change if results elsewhere today stay as they are. Millwall have taken the lead at home to Ipswich. It's Paul Jewell's first full match in charge. They had taken the lead, Ipswich, but it's 2-1 now. Let's go to Carrow Road, where at the moment the home side are behind. Robin Bailey.
Yes, an enthralling game in front of 25,000 here at Carrow Road, and Norwich are losing. They're chasing the game, which means that Cardiff are on the break at all times, and Chopra has gone close. They've also gone close through Parkin, who got that early goal, which has really put Cardiff in charge of this game. It was a terrific right-foot volley in the 6th minute, and from that moment on, Norwich have been piling forward. They should have had a penalty first half. They had a goal disallowed. They've hit the bar. They've done everything but score. In the second half, not so good, but they've had a couple of half chances, and there's more goals in this yet.
Let's go to Ibrox. A goal, Brian McLaughlin.
A 4th goal for Rangers. Substitute Morris Edu scoring with just 8 minutes left in the clock. A left foot shot from the edge of the 18-yard box, dispatched beyond Thomas Czerny in the Aki's net. 3 goals in the first half for Rangers, a double for Vladimir Weiss and a penalty from Stephen Whittaker. Rangers cruising to victory here at Ibrox. Rangers 4, Hamilton Accies 0.
Thank you, Brian. Let's go back to the Championship, though, and to Elland Road. Leeds had drawn 5 before today, but they've certainly got back to winning ways. Naz Premji.
They certainly have. Leeds United 3, Scunthorpe United 0. With 81 minutes on the watch, every time Leeds go forward, you expect them to score. They've had chance upon chance to increase the advantage here in the second period. First half goals from Watt, Gradle and Johnson, putting them in cruise control. He's rung the changes, Simon Grayson, maybe resting a few players ahead of that FA Cup replay with Arsenal, but they have simply outclassed Scunthorpe here today. Still, I don't know how. Leeds United 3, Scunthorpe United 0.
OK, let's go to Vicarage Road now. Lizzie Greenwood-Hughes has seen a goal fest there.
There has, but none in the second half so far, Gabby. It's still Watford 3, Derby County 0. It was a fantastically entertaining first half, particularly the last 10 minutes where all 3 goals came. The second one from Danny Graham, his 15th league goal this season. Thankfully for both sets of fans' hearts, the defences have improved in this second half. But after today's performance, you can see why Derby are 13th and sliding down the table. And Watford are going for their 6th league win in a row. It's Watford 3, Derby County 0 with 20 minutes to go.
Thank you, Lizzie. Brighton league leaders in League One up against Peterborough, with Darren Ferguson in charge for the second time in his career today, but it doesn't look like being a winning start, Tony Lockwood.
No, it doesn't, Gabby. The talk was of Ferguson's return to Peterborough, but of course Brighton have their own agenda. Just as I speak, Peterborough have hit the crossbar, and 2 minutes ago Chris Whelpdale also struck the bar. Something of a comeback by Peterborough after Albion established a 3-goal lead. Chris Wood with a goal in each half, Elliot Bennett with the other. Posh getting a goal back from Lee Tomlin. 3-1 Brighton.
Miracles appear to be happening at the City of Manchester Stadium. Damian Johnson.
Wolves have got another goal back. We could be in for a grandstand finish here. It's Ronald Zubar, and it's one of those goal line technology issues. It was a corner on the left-hand side. Zubar got his head to it. De Jong cleared it off the line, but the assistant referee down on the touchline below me signalled the ball had crossed the line, and Wolves are back in this game. It's City 4, Wolves 3.
We've had a quick chance to have a closer look at it as well, and we're hearing from our VT that yes, it did cross the line. From your human eyes,
it looks as if it's just about gone over the line. It's difficult to see, but you know, it's thoroughly unprofessional from Man City. The game was won, and now all of a sudden 4-3, Wolves right back in it.
And this is exactly what they did, didn't they? Came back from a losing position against Man City at Molineux earlier in the season.
Yeah, and all talk of the strikers in the team, but the defenders aren't doing their job.
Sorry to interrupt you, Martin, but I'm going to go to the Hawthorns, where it's getting very exciting. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, West Brom have been rightly applauded for the way they play football, but that was right out of the Route 1 textbook. Long clearance downfield, one bounce, Odemwingie gambled, as all good strikers should, took a chance, and it came off for him. He just about got a toe on the ball and clipped it past Kingston in his bright yellow kit, and he is furious. West Brom are bouncing, they lead 3-2.
You wouldn't be happy with yourself, Martin, would you?
No. Listen, it's the persistence of the striker there, Odemwingie. I mean, he's the outstanding player in their team, and it's all important they keep him fit, because today they've just not had enough to deal with him. As good as they are going forward, he'd be disappointed there, the defender.
I'm happy with the centre forward, though. He never let the centre half have any time, got on the end of it and showed his eagerness to score a goal.
Let's going to go to the DW. A goal, James Mason.
And it's an equalising goal for Wigan, Gabby, from their substitute, Andy Johnson. I mentioned he could possibly be the difference in this game. Strength on the bench for Mark Hughes. He's come on, he's now been mobbed by some Fulham fans that have jumped onto the perimeter of the ground at the DW. But importantly, he's come on and equalised, thrashing the ball. Al-Habsi looked like he'd saved it, but it landed in the back of the net. So with about 4 minutes to go, it's Wigan 1, Fulham 1.
His first goal since March 2009. As a striker, you'll appreciate just what that means to him.
Yeah, fantastic. And I've seen him play a few times this season, and he's come back into the side when they've got no centre forwards, and there's been pressure on him to score. And when you've been out for such the time that he's been out, it takes a little while to get back into the game. And you just felt with his work rate and the way that he plays, the goal was always going to come, and that's a huge
goal, isn't it? Massive goal. It just keeps them. You know, they would have fallen into the bottom three there, Fulham, and that goal just manages to keep them out. Takes a wicked deflection on the way through, but, you know, good news for Johnson that he's scoring again.
OK, thanks a moment, guys. Let's go to the Keepmoat Stadium. These two used to play for Reading. They're winning big time, aren't they, there, Alan Biggs?
Yeah, they'd be proud of their Royals here this afternoon. There's no doubt about this. Doncaster 0, Reading 3. A rampant Reading, 1 defeat in 11 before today. Well worth what I'm sure will be a victory, which prolongs the agony for Doncaster, who've not beaten Reading at home for 29 years. The Jimmy Kebe show, he starred in the opening goal for Shane Long, his 12th of the season. Kebe scored the second. Great cross shot, but a massive misjudgment by Neil Sullivan in the Doncaster goal, really gifting it. And then Joby McAnuff didn't know much about it, stabbing in, or rather deflecting in charging down an attempted clearance. Doncaster 0, Reading 3.
Forest have got one back. Their home record could be preserved thanks to a Sonko own goal. But let's go to the Den and get an update with Alex Gordon-Martin.
Yeah, it's Millwall 2, Ipswich 1, Gabby, and a second for the hosts. Over a static back four, there was Steve Morrison, who stabbed in a 10th of the season. He looked close to being offside, but the assistant referee was unmoved. In the first half, Danny Schofield levelled for Millwall after a second composed finish in the week from Tamas Priskin after his winner against Arsenal on Wednesday. Paul Jewell will have to change things now. Priskin needs help up front on his own. 10 minutes left. It's Millwall 2, Ipswich 1.
Let's go to the City Ground and hear about that Forest goal. Mark Bishop.
Nottingham Forest 1, Portsmouth 1, Gabby, and over nearly 22,000 here have just about taken the roof off the Brian Clough stand as the stadium came to life. Lovely ball in from the right-hand side from Musi. Wasn't cleared properly, and there was Sonko inadvertently looping the ball into the back of the net over Jamie Ashdown's head. All this after Billy Davies, who watched the first half in the director's box. Never before has he seen a Forest side play so badly in the first 45 minutes. He made wholesale changes to come back from that Kanu goal. Remember, Forest, they haven't lost at home in the league in 31 games, stretching back to April 2009. They're right back in it. It's 1-1.
5 minutes injury time has just been put up at the City of Manchester Stadium. 5 minutes for Wolves to complete the comeback of all comebacks. Oh, certainly up there.
They will be, because they look dead and buried, you know, at 4-1. They got the penalty, and you know, they've got themselves right back into the game. And
it's agonising at the moment, isn't it? And if you're going to be champions, this is not the sign of champions. You couldn't imagine Manchester United being this number of goals up and then throwing it away.
Well, they did it quite a bit early in the season, didn't they? They were throwing away 3 and 2-0 leads.
And you know, that's a hefty lead. To give that away, it's a painful 5 minutes for them. Yeah.
There's a goal at Elland Road. Naz Premji, who scored it?
Well, I guaranteed you more Leeds goals. You've got one. David Sommer, the scorer, the substitute. Super work by Max Gradle. His trickery went past 2 and 3 Scunthorpe defenders as if they weren't there. Fed the substitute Sommer. Sommer lashed the ball into the bottom left corner. It's Leeds United 4, Scunthorpe United 0.
Let's go and check in at Deepdale with Harry Gratian. Leicester 1-0 up. Any signs of a Preston comeback late into injury time? Is it there yet?
No, we've still got a few minutes left here, Gabby. I have to say that Richie Wellens could have extended Leicester's lead, and Norton was desperately close. Lots of spirit from Preston. Let me be absolutely clear about that. But it's not enough to overcome this Leicester side, I don't think. Leicester lead 1-0. Yakubu, the scorer.
OK, let's go to Upton Park. We spoke a little bit about the fact that Avram Grant is expected to be sacked after this match against Arsenal, with Martin O'Neill expected to take over in the next few days. Well, Simon Brotherton is getting ready for his commentary for Match of the Day.
I understand that West Ham are not planning to make any announcement today. They certainly don't have any press conferences planned specifically for after the match, so it doesn't appear as if anything is happening imminently. As for the team news, it's not great news for West Ham, actually. Their captain, Scott Parker, is out of the game. He's got an ankle injury. Frederick Keown is out as well. He's having dental surgery. But the men out, 2 players who have been out of form in the past week in the games against Leeds United and Ipswich Town, Nicholas Bentner and Andre Arshavin.
Thank you very much, Simon. Let's go to Fir Park. Ian Turner, any signs of the deadlock being broken?
No, and it's not going to be because it's full-time. Motherwell 0, Inverness 0, and let's forget about the first half. It was rubbish, but what a good second half we had with chances, missed chances galore. Ross Forbes missed a sitter for the Steelmen from 4 yards out. Richie Foran, though excellent otherwise, was Callie's worst culprit in front of goal and should have scored at least once, if not more. The points shared, few the managers apart, I suspect, would argue with that. Motherwell 0, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0.
Ian, thank you very much. Bristol City unbeaten in 8 home games before today. Hamish Marshall, that record's gone.
Ended in big style because a dreadful day for Bristol City has been rounded off. They trailed Middlesbrough by 4 goals to 0. David James has been sent off for a foul on substitute Cameron Park. A bit harsh, I thought. Leroy Lita converted the penalty. That was his second goal. He headed number 2. He also created number 1. An own goal from Khalifa Cisse, and there was a lovely individual goal from Barry Robson. Middlesbrough, a vital 3 points for them, giving some daylight between themselves and the relegation places. Bristol City 0, Middlesbrough 4.
Same scoreline at Ibrox, but in reverse. It's all over there, Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, finished Rangers 4, Hamilton Accies 0. Comfortable for the home side. The goals coming from Morris Hedu, Stephen Whittaker with a penalty and a double from man of the match, Vladimir Weiss. Some crumbs of comfort for Accies was that it could and should have been many more. Rangers 4, Hamilton 0.
Oh, it's all happening at the City of Manchester Stadium. Some chances for Wolves. We'll tell you if any go in. Let's go to the... hang on, what? No? OK. Let's go to the KC Stadium. Steve Sutton.
Well, we're into 4 minutes added on time, Gabby. Hull still lead by that. Matty Fry at penalty just after the hour. But Barnsley now down to 9 men. Impossible task for them. Hull 1, Barnsley 0.
Let's go to Carrow Road. A big goal for Norwich. Robin Bailey.
Well, it has been coming and they have deserved it. Norwich 1, Cardiff 1, and Russell Martin's got the goal. You know, he's done some fantastic work in defence to shackle Craig Bellamy. He's been up and down the right like a right winger, and he's scored at the far post. Great work again by Wes Hoolahan. Again, the man of the match for Norwich. The ball came across. He got it through to Simon Lappin, who's on as a substitute. It was a wonderful cross. I think it was Wilbraham who got the touch, and then just at the far post, Russell Martin knocked it in. Paul Lambert on the television now is wowing the crowd. He thinks there might be a second. 2 minutes to go.
Wow, what a comeback there. But let's go to the Hawthorns where it's all over, and there was something of a comeback for West Brom. Ivan Gaskell can tell us the story of the 90 minutes.
Yes, it's finished West Brom 3, Blackpool 2. And you know, if you were to beam an alien down to planet Britain at this stage and wanted to show them an example of what the Premier League really has to offer, put to one side your many £1 million worth of signings from overseas and show them what happened at the Hawthorns today. Absolutely fabulous entertainment from the start to the last kick. Blackpool took the lead early on. Vaughan, a beautiful, delightful curling chip over the goalkeeper. Odin Wingy was excellent all afternoon and underlined it with a well-taken goal before the break. Morrison forged West Brom ahead just after the break. Gary Taylor-Fletcher slid home Blackpool to level it with 10 minutes to go. And West Brom, so desperate to halt their slide after 5 successive defeats, snatched it at the end. Odin Wingy again. They just about edged it, but my, how Blackpool made them fight. Fantastic. 3-2.
And it's all over at the Silver at...
In truth, Chelsea was seldom threatened. They've beaten Blackburn by 2 goals to 0.
Roger, thank you very much. Let's go to the City ground. A dramatic finish there, Mark Bishop.
Unbelievable finish, Gabby. Nottingham Forest 2, Portsmouth 1. All this after Pompey have played out of their skins through a Kanu goal. They led at the break. Forest stormed back. Brilliant substitutions from Billy Davis in the end. Sonko, an own goal, gave Forest hope. And then a delightful chip into the box from Lewis McGugan. Brilliant header from Tudguy, looping over Ashdown. Forest winning in brilliant fashion. They're now 32 unbeaten at home in the league. Forest 2, Portsmouth 1.
Let's go to the DW Stadium. James, thank you. Let's go to the Britannia Stadium. It's all over there. Another away defeat for Bolton.
Yes, Gabby, that's right. It's Stoke 2, Bolton 0, so that's 5 defeats now for Bolton away in the last 5. But it's business as usual at Fortress Britannia for Stoke. They'd only won 1 of the last 4, but a first-half goal from Danny Higginbottom scrambled over was followed up by a second-half Matthew Etherington penalty. Stoke 2, Bolton 0.
Much, Andrew. Let's go to Turf Moor now. Richard Askham, is it all over there?
It's all over, Gabby. Goalless here, driven on by the creative brilliance of Adel Taarabt. The visitors almost broke through, though, more than once. But Burnley, watched by manager to be Eddie Howe, showed great resilience. He'll be delighted with his new charge's determination, but with great chances to win it from Orr and Derry. Neil Warnock will, shall we say, be less than pleased that his side's poor away form continues.
Richard, thank you. Let's go to the Keep Moat Stadium. Reading slowly but surely climbing up the table, Alan Biggs.
Yes, they are 3-0 winners here, emphatically so at the Keep Moat Stadium. A rare home defeat for Doncaster, only their second defeat here this season, but no doubt about it. Jimmy Kebe, also the man of the match. He made the first goal for Shane Long. He scored the second himself in the second half, and Joby McAnuff made sure. Doncaster 0, Reading 3.
Before today, Coventry were bottom of the form table in the Championship. It's all over at the Ricoh Arena. They've been playing Sheffield United. Anything you've seen there, Steve, that table is misrepresenting them?
Yeah, great performance from Coventry, the most one-sided of games, with Coventry blitzing the United goal all game. They hit the woodwork 3 times, Cole Baker in the first, and 2 free kicks from Gary McSheffrey in the second. They couldn't break through. United hung on grimly for a point, 0-0.
Well, the winner never came, but in the end, they'll be glad to salvage a point from that, Robin Bailey, at Carrow Road.
They will, and it's honours even, and that's a fair result, really, 1-1. But Cardiff so nearly won it from that John Parkin goal, their debut man, the 6th-minute goal, a wonderful right-footed volley, which gave the goalkeeper, John Roddy, no chance. They thought he was going to win it with that. Norwich kept on pumping forward, and in that second half, although they weren't as fluent as in the first, they finally got it. Russell Martin, who scored a few really important goals in this promotion campaign, got it in from a really tight angle inside the 6-yard box. Wonderful finish here. 25,000 loved it. It was 1-1 between Norwich and Cardiff.
And you can see the goals from that on the red button when we leave BBC One in about 10 or 12 minutes. You can also hear plenty of reaction from dressing rooms around the Premier League, so do stay with us if you can. But let's go to Elland Road first of all. Big win for Leeds United today, Naz Premji.
Leeds United 4, Scunthorpe United 0. Gabby, a professional and thoroughly dominant Leeds performance. Great displays from wingers Sanchez Watt and Max Gradle. A goal each for each of those. Bradley Johnson scored a scorching third for them. David Sommer came off the bench to put the icing on a champagne performance. The Iron simply need to heat up soon, or League One beckons. It's finished here. Leeds United 4, Scunthorpe United 0.
Naz, thank you. Let's now get the full classified results with Tim Gudgin.
And starting as we do with the Barclays Premier League, Chelsea 2, Blackburn Rovers 0. Manchester City 4, Wolves 3. Stoke City 2, Bolton Wanderers 0. West Bromwich Albion 3, Blackpool 2. West Ham United and Arsenal kick off at 5:30. Wigan Athletic 1, Fulham 1. In the N-Power Championship, Bristol City 0, Middlesbrough 4. Burnley 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Coventry City 0, Sheffield United 0. Doncaster Rovers 0, Reading 3. Hull City 2, Barnsley 0. Leeds United 4, Scunthorpe United 0. Millwall 2, Ipswich Town 1. Norwich City 1, Cardiff City 1. Nottingham Forest 2, Portsmouth 1. Preston North End 1, Leicester City 1. Swansea City 3, Crystal Palace 0. And Watford 3, Derby County 0. In the N-Power League 1, Brighton Hove Albion 3, Peterborough United 1. Carlisle United 4, Bristol Rovers 0. Hartlepool United 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 1. Milton Keynes Dons 2, Tranmere Rovers 0. Plymouth Argyle 0, Oldham Athletic 2. Rochdale 1, Leyton Orient 1. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Charlton Athletic 2. Southampton 0, Notts County 0. Swindon Town 0, Yeovil Town 1. And Walsall 2, Huddersfield Town 4. In League 2, Barnet 1, Shrewsbury Town 1. Bury 1, Aldershot Town 1. Cheltenham Town 1, Accrington Stanley 2. Chesterfield 1, Stevenage 0. Crewe Alexandra 2, Port Vale 1. Gillingham 1, Northampton Town 0. Hereford United 3, Stockport County 0. Lincoln City 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Morecambe 2, Torquay United 1. Oxford United 2, Bradford City 1. And Rotherham United 1, Southend United 2. In the Blue Square Premier, Barrow 2, Kidderminster 1. Crawley Town 2, Kettering Town 1. And Histon 1, York City 2. In the Clydesdale Scottish Premier League, Aberdeen 2, St Mirren 0. Dundee United and Hearts match was postponed with a waterlogged pitch. Hibernian 0, Celtic 3. Kilmarnock 1, St Johnstone 1. Motherwell 0, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0. And Rangers 4, Hamilton Academical 0. The Arnbrew Scottish Division 1, Dunfermline Athletic 0, Dundee 0. Falkirk 0, Queen of the South 3. Greenock Morton 3, Cowdenbeath 0. Partick Thistle 6, Stirling Albion 1. And Ross County 0, Wraith Rovers 1. And Scottish Div 2, Airdrie United 2, Brechin City 2. Alloa Athletic 0, Ayr United 1. Dumbarton 0, Stenhousemuir 1. Forfar Athletics match with East 5 postponed. Peterhead 3, Livingston 0. And Scottish Div 3, Albion Rovers 0, Montrose 2. Annan Athletic 2, Elgin City 2. Berwick Rangers 0, Arbroath 4. East Stirlingshire 2, Clyde 0. And Stranraer 2, Queen's Park 1. In the Welsh Premier, Aberystwyth Town 0, Llanelli 2. Bala Town's match with Carmarthen Town postponed. Haverfordwest 1, the New Saints 4. And latest score, Neath 0, Airbus UK Broughton 0. Newtown 0, Bangor City 1. Prestatyn Town 1, Port Talbot Town 1.
OK, let's have a little look at the tables then. Manchester City, the new leaders after their 4-3 win over Wolves. They've moved a point clear of their Manchester rivals United, who play Tottenham tomorrow. Third-placed Arsenal face West Ham shortly in the evening kick-off. And Chelsea back in the Champions League places after seeing off Blackburn 2-0. At the bottom, well, West Ham have got the chance to climb out of the relegation zone when they play Arsenal at Upton Park. As things stand, they're a point behind Aston Villa, who play Birmingham tomorrow, and Wolves, of course, who lost today. Wigan are out of the relegation zone for now after picking a point up at home to Fulham. Let's have a look at the Championship then, and still no win for QPR in 2011, and their lead has been cut to 3 points by Swansea. The draw between Cardiff and Norwich keeps them both ahead of Leeds. Watford, Reading, Nottingham Forest and Millwall were all winners today. It's so tight, isn't it, in those playoff places. At the bottom, Preston earned a point but remained bottom. Scunthorpe and Crystal Palace suffered heavy defeats. Middlesbrough were the only winners amongst the bottom 8. To League One, Brighton have stretched their lead to 4 points after beating Darren Ferguson's side Peterborough 3-1. Huddersfield have climbed above Southampton into second promotion spot after beating Walsall. The Saints were held at home by Notts County. And that defeat for Walsall means they slip to the bottom, 2 points behind Dagenham and Redbridge, who won at Hartlepool. Bristol Rovers' relegation fears increased with a heavy defeat at Carlisle. Yeovil complete the bottom 4, but their recent revival continued with victory at Swindon. To League Two, Chesterfield have extended their advantage to 5 points. Wycombe move into second ahead of Rotherham. The only other change near sees Gillingham move into the playoff places. Lincoln prop up the table following a home defeat. Previous incumbents Hereford are out of the relegation places after earning their first home win of the season. And to the Blue Square bets, just 3 matches today because of the FA Trophy. Crawley have closed the gap on the leaders AFC Wimbledon to 1 point. They came from behind to beat Kettering 2-1, not suffering a hangover from their defeat of Derby. At the other end, Histon's woes continued with a home defeat against York City. They remain 5 points from safety. And let's have a look at the SPL. The top 2 both enjoyed comfortable wins, meaning that Celtic remain 5 points clear of Rangers after beating Hibs. But of course, Rangers do have 3 games in hand, and they beat Hamilton 4-0. At the other end, that defeat for Accies keeps them 4 points adrift to St Mirren, who lost at Aberdeen. These are the headlines from the Premier League today. West Brom 3, Blackpool 2. Peter Odemwingi's late winner has the Baggies bouncing at Hawthorns as West Brom clinch a dramatic victory over Blackpool. Stoke 2, Bolton 0. Potter's craft leaves the Trotters out on their feet. Goals from Higginbottom and Etherington and the home side victory. Stoke move level on points with their defeated opponents. So everything from the Premier League covered for you on Match of the Day, and plenty to see tonight at 10:30 with Gary and the Allens, Hanson and Shearer. Right after that is the Football League show with Manish, and plenty of incident there for you as well. That's on at 10 to 11 on BBC One. And a change of channel. BBC One it is for Match of the Day 2 this week. Gus Poyet joining Colin and Lee. His side Brighton won today, of course. A cracking day of action for you tomorrow. And on Monday, late kickoff returns. Catch up with the Football League action from your area at 11:05 on BBC One. It's at this point I usually ask you to pick out your highlights of the afternoon. So many, but Martin, can you narrow it down for us?
West Bromwich have now given themselves a bit of daylight down at the bottom, and of course I think Fulham, that was a vital point, keeps Wigan in the bottom three as well. Outstanding.
And performances that you're impressed by?
I think Carlos Tevez, his solo effort. Before he came to the country, he was South American player of years, 2 years on the spin. I couldn't understand it, but now at Man City I'm seeing it, and when you see his goal tonight, there's a little bit of samba in there.
And very briefly,
Great.
Spurs going to win tomorrow?
Yeah, certainly, to hopefully, I think it would be a result for football if we win tomorrow.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Positively.
OK, have your say on 606. I'll call 0500 909 693, text 85058 or email 5livesport@bbc.co.uk. You can hear more of Les and Martin and also managers from the Premier League as we go over to the red button. Thank you for your company this afternoon. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.